The bottom line, we're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers.
This is something that the White House has been reluctant to do, but with COVID-19 hospitalizations spiking across the country, the president taking the most aggressive action yet, announcing new vaccine requirements for 100 million Americans.
President Biden fed up and taking aim at the nation's 80 million unvaccinated Americans as COVID hospitalizations top 100,000.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.
Now the president announcing the most sweeping COVID requirements yet, rolling out a plan that will affect 100 million Americans, ordering all businesses with more than 100 workers to either require their employees to be vaccinated or get tested weekly. And he's not stopping there. That vaccine mandate now also required for 17 million healthcare workers, plus 4 million federal government employees and contractors too, who won't have the option to get weekly tests. This as hospitals feel the crush across the country, with 4 times more patients in hospitals than a year ago. In Idaho, vaccination rates hover under 55%. Our Kaylee Hartung inside one of the state's overwhelmed hospitals, an ICU filled to capacity. Many patients only in their 30s and 40s. One healthcare worker telling her it's becoming difficult to even ask about vaccines.
When we ask, did you happen to get vaccinated? It already sets the tone. It already creates a bit of a rift in that tone in the room, because it's a feeling of, well, you're going to treat me differently because I didn't get vaccinated. And that is far from the truth.
Final preparations underway to mark 20 years since the September 11th attacks. President Biden will attend ceremonies at each of the sites where a total of 2,977 Americans were killed after hijackers simultaneously took over 4 planes.
We just got a report in that there's been some sort of explosion at the World Trade Center in New York City.
An investigation quickly revealed the hijackers were members of al-Qaeda, a terror group given safe haven in Afghanistan by the Taliban. It would take 10 years before the U.S. killed the mastermind, Osama bin Laden. Ayman al-Zawahiri, an Egyptian doctor who took over for bin Laden as head of al-Qaeda, has not been heard from in years. But with the Taliban now regaining control in Afghanistan, experts say al-Qaeda could regenerate.
The threat today is different than what we faced 20 years ago. It has evolved and morphed, and in some ways we are in a better place, but in other ways it's more complex.
Meanwhile, in New York, remains recovered after that fateful day are still being identified, and the reconstruction in Lower Manhattan remains a work in progress. Google Earth releasing this time-lapse video documenting the rebuilding at the site where the Twin Towers once stood.